Right now, we are having the presidential debate. On this side, the gold block represents Tinytown. We have Seb and, I guess, his VP, Ben. On this side, we have the emerald block representing the bankers. We have Nick running for president, and his VP is Theo. So this video is about the presidential debate on the Multi Survival SMP. The election is coming up, and this debate will shift the opinions of the audience. And they all decided to switch to a democracy since people thought that they didn't have freedom and I was an unjust ruler, apparently. A brief recap. Since the last video about the apartment complexes, a lot has happened. The apartments were blown up by a new group called Tinytown. Tinytown is a new country that was founded by Ben, Seb, and Theo, on accident by the way. They were just joking about Little T, a rapper, on BG Media, and then they founded Tinytown. Now they live on their own island, except for Theo, abiding by their own rules. Many conflicts have arose from this, and we decided to have an election. Each candidate was supposed to DM me that they were running and who their vice president would be. Seb, Nate, Gavin, and Nick DM'd me, and only Theo has officially been recognized as Nick's VP. No one else has a VP. But Ben is a self-proclaimed vice president for Seb. But Seb actually denied that many times, but Ben still believes he is. So, whatever. Also, the shopping district is a big hit with the multi-survival players, as most people have set up their own businesses in there. I, for one, have set up a nether business and an elytra shop. There's a KFC, Boy Hooters, and so much more. Eli even set up his own nightclub with a Fall Guys minigame in the basement. Now enjoy this video and watch as hopefully another war does not start. You know, everyone thinks everything is going to be resolved with this, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure there's still going to be much more conflicts and people are going to change their mind of who they wanted to be president. So, yeah. So, I guess first we'll have Seb talk. Question number 1. What do you plan to do with the economy on this server?
Alright. Well, alright, let me find it, because I wrote about this as well.
No, Nate, you have to go in the audience. Yeah.
Alright. The problem with the economy is that right now a faction runs it. A lone faction of 3 people that, I mean, let's be honest, have you given yourself money, Jonas?
No.
No, not at all?
No.
Then how, it's like, your balance is higher than everyone else's, and the only way anyone will ever make money is through you, which is why we should either...
Wait, people aren't paying each other?
No, Jonas, no one has any money, because you started out with money.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, whatever.
Jonas,
keep talking.
And that's why I think we should just change it to diamonds. I mean, you already use diamonds in your store. It's a better way of payment because it lets people, you don't have to be on, I don't know if it's about being online, but diamonds have use too, which is over real life money too, but whatever. It feels awkward that everyone is poor. Everyone on the server is poor except you guys, and that's because you run the banks. It's like, that's why I want to revamp it. I want to change it. I mean, honestly, basically just change it to diamonds because that's what I was campaigning for during the war. Because like, how much money do you have, Nick?
Well,
how much money?
They can't talk right now.
No?
No.
We can't do this like a real debate?
If you really want the answer.
Okay, alright. But, where's my document? I have so much stuff. Actual rebuttals that I planned on reading, but I'm sure you'll ask those questions later on.
Alright, I'm gonna mute you. And... Nick. Okay, Nick, you have been unmuted. Now, your turn. What do you plan on doing with the economy on the server?
Well, one of the major things that I've talked about is expanding the shopping district, and one of the biggest things is giving bonuses to people who work and place their shop inside the shopping district. These will be very, very large bonuses, and this will help get the economy moving and flowing. See, the problem with diamonds is anyone can mine diamonds, and that's a big pain to the economy, as, you know, anyone can get diamonds, and money inherently has a problem then. If you can just get money from anywhere, there's a problem. This was the same problem that they had with emeralds.
Question number 2. What do you plan to do with the shopping district?
I'd like to rebuttal that, actually, because you guys keep bringing up diamonds and how the reason why we burned the emeralds was for the same reason. I want to burn this stupid currency that we have. Like, what? When was it last? When did we last change or whatever? I mean, you guys still... It's been a pain to develop businesses, especially with you guys blowing them up. And it just doesn't seem appropriate to me if we want... You know, I think a lot of people on this server feel that they don't want someone in power who has been... Oh, can someone... Oh, no, someone needs to sleep, guys. The shopping... Oh god, what was I saying? It's just like they have too much power.
Alright, so obviously large bonuses, I was talking about this. And one of the big things is we are going to get tons and tons of, like, the actual materials we need to make this a city, not just say we're gonna make a city. And also, I would like to say, in general, I don't have all this power you're speaking of. That is Jonas, and I don't make these decisions. You speak a lot of what the bankers do, and despite the fact that I am part of the bankers, not every decision the bankers has made is my decision. I'm getting blamed for every single thing the bankers have done. The fact that it's constantly used against me, especially in something like this, is a big problem. But yes, so concrete and stone and all that stuff, and we will be able to build a city, and with bonuses, more people are going to be interested in actually building their shops in the city.
Now, the third question. How do you plan to handle faction claims and or the factions themselves?
I don't believe in factions. Because factions, you know, it's how wars come out of them. And we need to treat the server like one country, not multiple ones. We tried that with Tinytown. You guys didn't like it. It's just... If we want to treat the server as a democracy, we can't do it behind closed doors.
For claims, I think that factions are a huge problem, but that's such a large problem that it'll be much harder to fix. But right now, I want to roll back claims and make sure that you're not allowed to have a claim outside of a couple chunks outside your house. Like, right now, it's a huge problem. The bankers have huge claims that sprawl multiple different areas. But I think that you're right. I think that we should have a single country. I don't understand why you'd make a separate country then. Isn't that quite non-unifying?
Like, guys, it's 3 people. We're not doing the same thing you were doing, because otherwise it's going to take forever. So I think right now we should give Nate's turn to speak. But to rebut what Nick said... Now let Nate speak, because he has been sitting here for like 10 minutes.
You can just say and basically give us everything that you plan to do. Tell us everything that you plan to do, change, or get.
So what I plan to do is that while I do agree with both with Seb and Nick that the money system is flawed, I think Nick is right that because diamonds you can actually mine them, that makes diamonds not the ideal currency. But also, Nick's idea of giving bonuses is also flawed, because that would create another imbalance. So what I propose is everybody just starts out, like everybody gets sort of all their money, there's no more money, but instead everybody starts out with an equal number, like $10,000, or something like that. So everybody is equal, and you could sell stuff to each other, but everybody starts out the same, and nobody does anything unintentionally. Also, either we revoke all claims and try to trust each other a little more, or we just give more claims to other factions.
That's not how it works.
Oh, I mean, just be an easier way to get power, you know?
I can't change that.
Alright, anyway.
Okay, now Gavin's turn. Hold on. Okay, Gavin, you have been unmuted. Now, propose what you have to offer.
I'm not the richest person in this server. Like, I don't have many diamonds or gold or anything like that. But what I do have is what the people want. And that's fairness of, you know what, I give up.
Question number 4. Do you plan on taking action on a punishment system? Recently, people have been breaking the rules because there are no consequences.
I'll answer. I think with punishment, unfortunately it's a necessary evil. But I do think with public service, I think that's a great way to punish people. And it also accomplishes one of, I think, the goals of everyone on this stage, which is to expand the shopping district and create a city. And with what Nate was saying, giving everyone equal payment, I think that's smart. But again, it is virtual, and I think that some people just rather it being handheld like I do. But what I mean by public work, of course, is that, just public spaces, gardens, buildings, whatever. Streets, which is most important. It's just, it's I don't know why. I don't think we need to upgrade this server. I don't think we need to put in all these fancy plugins. I think it can just be what everyone else wants, which is a normal Minecraft server.
Seems like you didn't have much to offer for punishment, but...
Alright, so obviously, along with trying to get money to flow a lot more on the server, we would have a jail where you have to spend a little bit of time, and fees. Not massive fees, but fees, and they would obviously be decided probably by Nate, because he's the judge. Well, I don't see what community service would actually be in this case. We'll be able to use the courtroom a lot more, and I think this is an important process, because right now people are able to kill each other, and they're blowing up people's shit. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about. Sorry. Fees for blowing stuff up and for killing people. And another big thing I want to do is limit how much TNT a person can have. This is a really big problem because currently a certain faction that we all know who I'm talking about, it's us. We have far too much TNT, and it's a massive threat.
Alright,
Take on punishment.
I'm in favor for some more harsh punishments. For very minor stuff, like, I don't know, maybe killing somebody accidentally or stuff like that, you would pay a small fine. But massive levels of griefing, like, let's say one faction just for no reason at all blew up the entire, like, shopping district. I know that would never happen, but just imagine it. I would actually want to put a ban on that person. That person could not come onto the server for the amount of days that a person decides.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
Also maybe for the even more severe stuff, maybe like they could be muted on the Discord server for a day or something like that. I don't know.
Question number 5. What do you plan on doing with Tinytown, as it is a separate country from the rest of this?
I continue to grow Tinytown, if that's what you're asking.
I'm just asking in general.
It's not a separate regime. There will be laws over it, but have you ever heard of Christiania?
Yeah.
You have heard of it. It was very similar to that. It was people trying to get away from the government. But, me being a Tinytown official, and, I think that people will be more secure. Okay, can we talk about that, guys? That's messed up.
What?
Why would we, listen to me, it's a video game, guys. Do we need to put someone in a Minecraft jail for, 100 days for griefing something? What, are you gonna put them in an obsidian prison? They can literally warp out. That's not how that works.
No, we get rid of perms to warp out.
And with factions, Nate was talking about factions and how people will go and grief everything. Which, we should get rid of factions! Because factions...
Obviously, Tinytown will have to abide by the same rules, and besides that, I'm not going to interfere with what they do, and I will let them handle Tinytown for themselves. They're a separate part of this world, as they've previously stated repeatedly.
Alright, so for Tinytown, they're just their own peaceful country doing their own thing. I don't even think of them as, a group. I just think of them as a few people that got together, and they're just doing their own thing. They don't want any harm. They don't want to harm anybody, but they also don't really want people interfering with their shit. So what I would do, if they want something, they can petition for something or whatever. But what I would do as president was I would just leave them alone. No griefing, no arguments, none of that stuff. Leave them alone, let them do their own thing, and everybody's gonna be happy.
Question number 6. Do you plan on adding more rules/laws to the server? If so, then how will they help?
We need to add laws. I plan on adding lots of them. Griefing, building laws, just a better... Oh my god, it's just like, I don't know how to explain this anymore. I will... It's okay, just move on to Nick.
Well, I obviously have a big focus on anti-build griefing, which is a big problem because builds, like, we spend a lot of time on what we make, and seeing it get blown up or destroyed in any way is quite aggravating. The jail is to enforce this, and I think that system will, obviously it won't be perfect, but you know, it'll do a little bit more than nothing is doing right now. And we have a lot of different rules that we need to add in general. Because right now, I agree that, like, our rules are very, very limited, and it's a huge issue. I would like to say that, like, I've already mentioned, like, the bankers ourselves will be getting the materials to make new roads. I don't see where you're saying you'll just get new stuff. That's quite a blank statement, and honestly, I can't trust it.
I wonder why. I wonder if it's because we have a corrupted economy. Instead of putting people in jails, they should go out and... What? Oh. But it's like, of course we don't have money. The entire server is poor besides the bankers. Court laws. I think people should be, represented in court. I think it's too rash to go straight to putting people in jail because we need to have an actual court. Which is why I think we should have a bigger court. The court is very nice, Eli, but it is big enough for only one court at a time.
What do you plan to do with laws and stuff?
So I politely disagree with both Nick and Seb, because I think that the laws that we have in place right now are great. The problem is that nobody is following them. Nobody is respecting them, and nobody's paying attention to them. So I want to reinforce the actual laws that we already have in place, instead of coming up with new ones. Because let's face it, nobody likes a bunch of laws and people telling you what to do. So instead of putting more of those in, then we just reinforce the ones that we already have.
But I would like to say, I don't have any money whatsoever. I know, like, the bankers in general have a lot of money, but I don't have money, and I've never traded like that.
True.
I'm wrong. I have $4,000, okay? That's less than Eli has. How much do you have?
Yeah, but that's why we should get rid of it, because it's entirely unbalanced.